Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Yeah, I had to. Because if you've ever set up a fish tank and thought, do I really need a heater? This video is for you. The truth is, not every fish needs tropical temperatures. Some species actually thrive in cooler water, and skipping the heater can save you money, stress, and sometimes even your fish's health. Today we're counting down 7 amazing coldwater fish that thrive without a heater. Hardy, beautiful, and beginner-friendly. Stick around because number 1 is the ultimate coldwater gem that almost every hobbyist falls in love with. And hey, if you love no-fluff aquarium advice, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now, quick reality check before we start the list. People think heaters are just about making the water hot. Nope. The real job of a heater is to keep your tank stable. Fish don't like roller coasters, especially not temperature ones. If your tank swings from 65 in the morning to 75 in the afternoon, that's stress city for your fish. A steady 70 is way safer than bouncing between extremes. So yes, I recommend heaters in most cases, not to boil your fish, but to protect them from sudden drops. Think of it like cruise control in your car. It keeps things smooth. You know what's funny? I've actually had a tank crash once just because the heater broke. The water dipped overnight, and by morning half the fish were stressed out. That's when I learned. Heaters aren't about making your fish cozy. They're about keeping things steady. Skip the roller coaster, keep it stable, and your fish will thank you. But the fish on this list? They're hardy enough that even if your room temp stays cool and steady, they'll thrive without a heater. Number 7, Paradise Fish. We're starting with the drama king, the paradise fish. They look like rainbow warriors, colorful, hardy, and yes, they thrive in unheated tanks. Here's the catch. They've got the attitude of a betta on steroids. Peaceful tank? Forget it. They need their own space. But if you've got a single species setup and want a centerpiece fish that thrives in cooler water, the paradise fish is bold, stunning, and built for the cold. Number 6, Hillstream Loach. Next up is one of the most unique coldwater fish out there, the Hillstream Loach. Think mini stingrays stuck to your glass? These guys look wild. They're algae eaters, perfect for tanks with lots of flow. And trust me, watching them zoom around rocks in a current is like having your own little river scene at home. They love cooler temps, high oxygen, and thrive where other tropicals would struggle. Just don't mistake them for pleco replacements. They need strong flow and clean water. Number 5, Medaka Ricefish. The Medaka ricefish is a rising star in the hobby, especially in Europe. They're small, peaceful, and unbelievably hardy. In Japan, they've been kept outdoors in rice paddies for centuries. No heater, no problem. They come in gold, orange, even shimmering blue varieties. And here's the kicker. They can handle temperatures that would send most tropical fish into shock. If you want something different than the typical guppy or tetra, the Medaka ricefish is your coldwater underdog. Number 4, Dojo Loach, Weather Loach. Now here's a fish with personality, the Dojo Loach, also called the Weather Loach. These guys are like little comedians. They dig, they explore, and they even go wild when the weather changes, hence the name. They thrive in cooler tanks, and honestly, they're some of the most entertaining fish you'll ever own. But be warned, they grow big, up to 10 to 12 inches, so don't squeeze them into a tiny tank. If you've got the space, they'll reward you with years of quirky behavior. Number 3, Rosy Barb. Let's add some color, the Rosy Barb. Unlike goldfish, these guys stay more manageable in size and do great in groups. They're active swimmers, they shimmer in cooler water, and they thrive in unheated community tanks. The only warning? Keep them in groups of 5 or more, or they'll get nippy. Give them space to school, and you'll have a tank full of non-stop motion and glowing red-gold color. Number 2, goldfish. Of course, we can't talk cold-water fish without mentioning goldfish. The most famous, the most misunderstood. Yes, they thrive without a heater, but they're not tiny bowl fish. They grow massive, live for decades, and produce a ridiculous amount of waste. In a proper tank or pond, they're stunning, friendly, and full of personality. But if you put them in a 1-gallon bowl, you'll regret it fast. Goldfish thrive in cold water setups when cared for properly. Just remember, tank size matters. Here's a little confession. My very first goldfish tank was a disaster. I thought a couple of fancy goldfish would be easy in a small setup. Within weeks, my filter was clogged, the water was cloudy, and those little poop machines were working overtime in their shiny outfits. Lesson learned, goldfish are amazing, but they need space and a serious filter. Number 1, White Cloud Mountain Minnow. And finally, the cold water champion, the White Cloud Mountain Minnow. If there's a fish that deserves the title Perfect Unheated Aquarium Fish, this is it. They're hardy, peaceful, colorful, and thrive in groups. They don't need heaters, they don't demand huge tanks, and they're perfect for beginners. Plus, they school beautifully, flashing gold and red across the tank like tiny living jewels. They're sometimes called the poor man's neon tetra, but honestly, they're just as beautiful and a lot less fragile. White clouds are proof that you don't need tropical temps to have a thriving, stunning tank. Bonus tip. Here's the takeaway. Just because a fish can survive without a heater doesn't mean you can ignore stability. Cold water fish thrive when temps stay consistent, so place your tank away from drafts, windows, and direct sunlight. Think of it this way. It's not about surviving the cold, it's about giving your fish a steady, comfortable home. That's what makes them thrive. So, which cold water fish is your favorite? Are you team goldfish, or do you swear by the tiny white clouds? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you're wondering which so-called peaceful fish you should actually avoid, check out my last video right here. Those calm-looking fish can cause way more chaos than you'd think, and it might save you from your next big mistake. And if this video helped you discover the world of heater-free tanks, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Stay cool, fish keepers.